Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Marie and today I'm doing a Friday Sews video. So it is actually Friday. It's Friday afternoon and I know the lighting is shocking, and that's because it is raining cats and dogs outside. It's been keeping this up all day and it's really dark and wet and cold. And I actually learned a new word this summer, and it appears so that a lot of tourists are coming to Norway for a coolcation. That might not be a new expression, but certainly the first time I've heard it. So it appears that they're coming here because Southern Europe is too crowded and too hot. So yeah, I get it, but still I would have loved to have a little bit more sunshine before the winter heads on. But seeing as it is so cold today, I'm actually wearing a long hooded jacket. And this is the I Am Patterns rainbow. And that comes in a lot of different variations, and I've made, I don't know, 3 or 4 at least of these, but this is the only one I've made that's the long jacket. So this actually comes down to my sort of mid-thigh. And it's really cozy and snuggly. I made this in a brushed French terry, like the backside of it is brushed instead of like looped. So it feels really snuggly. And I'm also wearing a t-shirt, and this is the Tiana's Closet front gathered tee. Is that what it's called? They always have kind of long names, but yeah, I really love this pattern. So I'm going to be making more t-shirts of this sort. So yeah, not very summery in my clothing today, but it's really quite chilly outside. So yeah. So anyway, this is a Friday so I'm going to be showing you a couple of things that I've been working on this week. And I am also going to show you my new sewing space because my cutting mats arrived this week. So yeah. I haven't been sewing that much this week because I started work again after my holidays this week, and it takes a little bit of extra energy in the beginning to sort of get things going. So yeah, but I have made a few things and I'm going to be showing you that. So let's start with the I Am Gaia, and this is a vest top, or a, what do you call it? Tank. A tank. So this is the I Am Gaia, and I made this in a bottle green viscose linen, and it needs an iron. But I really wanted to show that to you. I haven't got any pictures of myself in it yet, but I will be putting that up in a makes video later. So on that note, just as a side note, I know I said I would do a July makes video, but actually looking at the sort of list that I make of things that I make, I did make like maybe 6 things, even though I went on holiday in July, but I have been showing you many of those in Friday Sews. So I think I'm going to sort of mash the July makes with the August makes and then just postpone all of that till then. But yeah, this is the I Am Gaia. I have made 1 or 2 of this before, but never for myself. So this is the first thing I've made, the first one I've made for myself, because the other version that I made was for my daughter as part of a sort of an ensemble for for her winter formal earlier this year. So this is the first version for myself, and I used this kind of remnant that I had This viscose linen is really nice, but it has quite an open weave, and it is part of the fabric haul that my husband did for me when he was in Algeria earlier this year. And you can tell that I sewed this while I was tired, because look at the label placement there, people. They see, this is the reason why you should never sew while you're tired. I'm actually going to fix that. I'm usually very lazy with that kind of thing, that I'm just letting it rip sort of, but I am going to change that up. But it is a beautiful label. It's from the Cozy Club Handmade, and it says "Be beautifully handmade," and on the back it says "You are the bee's knees." And I really thought they went well, the coloring and everything, but I mean, that's not going to cut it. All right. So the only other like garment I sewed this week was actually a dress for my youngest daughter. She loves dresses, and she wants to wear dresses, you know, quite often. And she saw me buying this fabric from Selfmade. I picked it up in one of their recent sales, and it is cotton jersey, quite like t-shirt weight, I would say. And she said, "Can you make me a dress in that?" I had planned on making a t-shirt for myself, but seeing as she loved it so much, I decided to make her a t-shirt dress. So this is it. It's a basic t-shirt on the top, and I used the everyday sweatshirt pattern from Made Every Day. And Made Every Day is run by a lady called Dana. She is from Texas, and she is really kind of the person that sort of taught me to sew, you know, in recent years. I mean, I learned it in school and from my mum and all of that, but she was really the one that sort of piqued my interest and really got me into like sewing clothes. So I highly recommend her patterns and her channel. I mean, she doesn't do lots of videos these days, but in the sort of beginning of her channel, she made quite a few like children's clothing things, and yeah, I found them very, she does every step in details, which is great for beginners. So yeah, I learned a lot from her, and I bought several of her patterns. And this is a sweatshirt pattern, but I made it into a t-shirt, and I sort of just chopped it off at the waistline, and then just sewed a rectangle that I slightly gathered into the waist. And I really think that this is really like a cute dress. So I don't have any pictures of my daughter wearing it yet, because I finished it, well, yesterday or today. So I haven't any pictures of her in it yet. But yeah, and I had this little striped ribbing that I got from Stofflykke, that I thought like went really well with it. So a very easy sew, but it's lovely when, you know, you can make something for other people that they really like. So yeah. The only other thing that I've made this week is an upcycled bag, tote bag. And I have quite a few old jeans that are unsalvageable, like for fixing. So yeah, I used some of that to make a tote bag. So I'll include some pictures of that. Yeah, okay. Been rambling on for 11 minutes already, but I am now going to pause this video, and then I will film a little bit in my new sewing space so you can see what that looks like. So be right back. Okay, so here we are in my little sewing space, and I thought I would show you what my new gorgeous cutting table is like. So please excuse all the mess in this space, because this is the utility room that we use for, you know, storing all kinds of things. And it's also my husband's gaming room and home office. So, you know, it is a little bit full. And we've been doing some home renovations this summer. So things are even more chaotic than usual. But I thought I'd just pop in here now because yesterday these new cutting mats came, and I have 2 cutting mats in the A0 format, so they are huge. And this is the lovely new cutting table that my husband made for me. So we had 4 of these little cabinets, and they were sort of stuck on top of each other, in as, you know, kind of as, you know, storage space and room divider in this space. But we took down one of the shelves here, and then my lovely talented husband reused 3 of these cabinets. So there's sort of a double cabinet in here, with these kind of sliding doors, and he used one on this side, one on the other side, and then one going this way, so that we could sort of make a bigger cutting table. And he put this whole thing on wheels, so I can actually move this around. And here is my little sewing table that looks very chaotic at the moment, but my sewing machine and my overlocker. So this is actually my mum's old sewing table, and I just adore it. It is a little bit small and the little knob on the drawer there just came off, so I need to fix that. But I think about her every time I sit down at the table, so that's, you know, the reason why I still have that. Yeah, there's a little, you know, view from my sewing room, and I have these 2 very special like lamps here that will be connected. I might even mount them on the wall just to have a little more light there in the winter. And yeah, these can also be sort of graded, both how like brightly they shine, but also the sort of color, so I can have bluer or more yellow light. So these are kind of studio lights. So I might, you know, mount them somewhere up here. My little iron is right there at the moment, but I will be using part of my cutting table and put like an ironing mat up there. I usually use a wool like blanket to put over there, so that I can use this as my kind of ironing table when I'm not cutting out. So this is it. It is absolutely huge. And I really, really like it. So I did obviously have to have 2 mats because I couldn't find a single one that had the markings on it that was big enough. So I have to figure something out there in the sort of, whether I kind of glue them together or what I'm going to do, don't know yet. But they have the inches on one side and then there's centimeters on the other. And there are also these kind of lines on there, so I can use them for cutting out things like for quilts and everything. That's really useful. It is a little bit too long, as you can see here, because this was the only format that sort of fitted. And it fitted in like the width of a table, but it's a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to cut that off. So I'm thinking that I might just use a little bit of like gum tack, and then to make sure that they're really safe on the table and that they don't like slide around. But yeah, what do you think? Am I the luckiest girl in the world or what? I am getting ready to cut something out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using my new table. I thought I could share with you just one more thing actually. Like, this has given me so many options to really store things in here. So gives me lots of room for like zips and bias tape and elastic, and I have all my little labels in this tin. And yeah, it gives me so much storage, like all my overlocking threads, etc. underneath here. So yeah, super happy, and I think this is really going to make a big change for me now that I can really get things organized, and so looking forward to not having to lay on the floor to cut things out anymore. So yay! Thank you so much to my lovely husband who built me this. Can't wait to get started. Yeah, that was it. You like my new sewing space? I have been trying it out a little bit this week, and my goodness, how much easier is it to cut things out when you can stand? Oh, so pleased. Brilliant husband that built me a new cutting table and, you know, rearranged the whole space there. And yeah, I really like the new cutting mats that I got too. So there is still a little bit to be done. I mean, obviously the space itself is like very cluttered at the moment because we've been doing a few like house projects over the summer. So things tend to be sort of stuffed in there when we have no other place for it. So it needs a good clear out, but I think the new sewing space is going to be really, you know, good for me. So in other news, I bought a pattern this week, and it was the Skyline Tee by Sew House 7. So Sew House 7 has a sale on. I believe it's still active throughout maybe the day. I'm not quite sure about that, but they had a sort of an anniversary sale. So I think I got 20% off the Skyline Tee. The only other thing that I've been working on this week is that I have been planning on the fitting issues with the jeans. So as you might know, I am doing a collaboration with the lovely Rachael from the French Seams, and we are making the Ash jeans by Megan Nielsen. And I have made those that pattern several times before. And I'm reminding you that if you want to sew up jeans, this is your chance to get involved. And I do hope that you use the hashtag #SewJeansWithUs and post them on Instagram so that Rachael and I can see your progress. And do feel free to tag us as well. I'll leave my Instagram handle in the description box so you can see where to find me. But yeah, I've been having a look at some of my earlier Ash jeans, and I've tried them on. I had my daughter take some pictures of me in them, and I do think that they fit rather well. But my journey into jeans making, the collaboration with Rachael, is that I want to make mine fit even better. So I want to like really nail the fit of my jeans. And I don't think that the Ash jeans will require a lot of fitting for me, but there are some issues. So I took two of my Ash jeans, one pair of yellow Ash jeans that I am donating because I never wear them, and a pair of black Ash jeans that I've worn a lot. And they are different weights, and they're sort of different elastane contents in them as well, so they fit differently. And it's not easy to see on the black pair, but I wanted to include pictures so that you can see how they fit me. And the yellow pair does something that the black pair doesn't. And that is that it creates sort of some wrinkles on the back leg. It's not bothering me or anything, but I want to remove that. So the thing that I am thinking about is to scoop out the back crotch a little bit to give me a little bit more room there. And I'm going to add what I take off in the scoop, I'll add on to the side seams, is what I'm planning to do. That's also because if you look at the sort of diagonal line on my leg, on the side view, you can see that there's a little bit of back pooling. It sort of drags towards the back a little bit. It's not much, just a tiny bit. So I do think that I might need just a little bit more room in the seat and the back, just to prevent it from sort of dragging back. So that is what I've been working on. I've been looking through some of the fit guides and things like that to have a look at what that might be. There is also another thing that might be an issue, and that is that I might have, it's not easy to see, but I might have like what do they call it? Prominent front leg, front thigh, is that what they call it? Athletic front thigh? There's something like that. And that means that I've like the sort of muscles on my thigh kind of protrudes a little bit further on. That means that it stretches too much across the front leg. So I might add on just a sliver on the front crotch seam too, sort of slash and spread that just a little bit, just to give that a little bit more room, and then maybe also relaxing the back, the sort of back on the trousers too, so that they don't pull up and through the crotch, if that makes sense, because that can also make like wrinkles and everything. So yeah, that was maybe a little bit more than I had thought I had to say about that, but I'll be going into all of those details with the actual, the actual fit changes that I'm making to the pattern, so that you can see. And then hopefully I'll have these like earlier versions of the jeans as reference points, so that you can see whether or not the sort of fit changed. Yeah, but I will I'll leave that off for the next video, and then I will be talking in depth about fitting when we do the reveal of the actual jeans, and that will be sometime in September. So, watch this space. And then we'll get back to you when we are ready to reveal the jeans. But please do come along with us and use the hashtag so that we can see what you're working on. So the final thing that I'm going to say to you before I love you and leave you and to get on with your weekend is that I am really, really grateful that you seem to respond very nicely to, to my comments. And thank you so much if you've left a comment or liked a video or anything. I mean, as I said earlier, I'm trying not to be too obsessed with the number of subscribers and everything, but I really do appreciate you keep coming back to my videos, and that really brings me so much joy. So thank you so much for that. And if you want to continue following along this journey, feel free to hit the subscribe button and then I'll see you later. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Bye.